So Stalker 2 just came out a couple of days ago, and it really feels like meeting that long lost child you have not seen for 15 years. And it is pretty surreal experience, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I remember just sleeping and dreaming about Stalker 2 sequel for years, and then waking up next morning drenched in a sweat and disappointment, realizing that that was just a freaking dream. I still remember the day the game got announced, and I felt like crying, you know. When I heard Stalker 2 was getting developed and it will be released on PC and Xbox, I screamed like a girl. So yeah, after a couple of delays and all the crazy stuff that is happening in the real world, we finally got Stalker 2 in our hands, and it's been 3-4 days since the release date. So let's just say we got some problems. Now, to say that Stalker 2 is bugged, understatement, you know. All the veterans that has played Stalker for all the years, starting with all the titles, ending with modifications such as Gamma and Anomaly, we know that stuttering and all kinds of issues and bugs, this is pretty much standard Stalker experience. It's like having a glass of water, okay? The glass is the game, water is a freaking bugs and all the stuttering and all the issues. But the thing is, while Stalker in general is a glass of the water in its experience with the bugs and all of this stuff, Stalker 2 is freaking this! Despite that, everybody who has played Stalker all the years knew that something was going to happen with this game. There were going to be issues, okay? Nobody expected it to be freaking smooth sailing experience. There was bound for something to happen, because one, it's a freaking Stalker. Two, the country that developed this game is at war right now. But it was not a smooth experience for the newcomers. So as you have heard, many new players that are trying the Stalker franchise for the first time through this title are pretty disappointed about how the game is working. And some of the guys exaggerate and call it a sucker coming of Cyberpunk experience at launch, which is a fucking lie, okay? Cyberpunk was fucking disaster. This is not even close to that. It is perfectly playable experience that is riddled with some issues, but at the end of the day, you can still enjoy it, okay? That said, I still have my own grips with the game, and I made a note of pros and cons and pretty much generalizing and summarizing my experience with my game. And while I'm going through these notes, you can see the footage that I took of the game in the background, so you can pretty much enjoy that while I talk over this thing. On a side note, taking that footage felt like pressing the barrel of the gun to my PC, and it brought the memories of the old days when I had the GeForce GT 730 in my computer, and pressing the recording button meant taking half the performance and optimization of the game and recording the game with fucking lesser FPS. It really felt nostalgic, you know. So anyway, first thing first, bad performance and bugs, okay? It has bugs, it has issues. It's fucking understatement, okay? Performance is not too bad. It is nowhere near comparable to Cyberpunk, but there are some issues. But it is still playable, you can still play it if you can run it right now. If you can compile shaders and go past menu. So yeah, there is that. Second thing, I do not know if anybody has this. I have not heard it from anybody else, but there is this sluggish feeling of character control, you know? I do not know why, but moving my mouse around with a guy holding his gun feels really sluggish. It's like something is pressing down, something like it feels like I have weights on my shoulders or something. I do not know how to explain it, but it doesn't feel great to you know, I do not know why. It just is. I hope that is just some sort of minor issue that they will fix in the future. But yeah, for now I have this problem. I do not know what it is, but it's really fucking sucks. Third thing, Alife is fucking dead alongside AI, which makes zone feel empty, plus nothing is living past 100 meters from player, and everything is spawning way too close, and fuck bloodsuckers. This is literally what I wrote in my textbook. So what I mean by this, First thing first, what is Alife? Alife is a component of the game which is like a director from Left 4 Dead that controls how NPCs act in a zone. Take an example factions. In a Stalker, we have a lot of factions such as Freedom, Duty, and so on. Alife comments how these factions operate, you know, the firefights and as such. For example, in all the titles, if you kill off every faction member of specific faction in their base, after some time when you leave that level and you come back, you find out that another faction has taken over. And that is how Alife works. And it creates dynamic experience and keeps zone alive and immersive. This is pretty much a core concept behind Stalker and why people just love this series. Unfortunately, in Stalker 2, as we learned, Alife is bugged and kind of turned on, not on, oh my god, and kind of turned off, and it makes zone feel really empty. And to compensate that, Stalker 2 has a lot of scripted events that you run into when exploring the zone, which kind of trying to balance out the lack of Alife, but those who have played Stalker for years still can tell that something core is missing. And because of that, in my experience playing the Stalker, it kind of feels empty, you know? You go from point A, from point B, and because of the lack of the faction wars and encounters that feel dynamic and immersive, it kind of feels empty, okay? The scripted events kind of try to make up for it, like I said, but at the end of the day, nothing can really replace Alife. So yeah, there is that. Another thing, AI of your enemies that you are fighting is kind of incompetent. In my experience, maybe it's bugged, I do not know. But either way, right now, AI intellect of the NPCs is atrocious. But it is still normal, okay? You can still enjoy it, but yeah, something is wrong with the AI, and I hope they fix it. Another thing is that sometimes when you're fighting AI, they start calling out each other, saying that they lost sight of you, despite firing at you in that moment, which creates really confusing situation when you are trying to do a stealth run and you can't really figure out whether or not enemies seeing you or not. Now, speaking of AI and enemies, bloodsuckers. Bloodsuckers are... It feels like bloodsuckers have been hitting gym in this game. They are tanks. To take one bloodsucker down, you have to empty every mag and every bullet you found throughout 1 hour of running around the zone. They are that tough. Also, they have this animation where they hit you and you fall down. And it is most freaking, I do not know, such a atrocious experience, you know. Sometimes they just hit you fall down, and when you are stun locked in animation of getting up, they hit you again and you just die and you are helpless, okay? It is really annoying. I hope they make that lunging attack more rare or something, I do not know, to balance out, because otherwise right now it's really fucking atrocious. So, point 4. Quick slots are fucking weird. So, in Stalker series we have 4 quick slots: F1, F2, F3, and 4 for food, bandages, first aid kits, and so on. In Stalker 2, that is changed for some freaking reason. I do not know why, but it is changed. Instead of 4 buttons, you now have 2, F1 and F2. And don't get me wrong, we still use 4 items, but for 2 buttons. So the way it works in Stalker 2 is that you got 2 items for 1 button. So let's say you have bandages and you have first aid kit, okay? First aid kit, if you want to use first aid kit, you press once F1 and character uses first aid kit, okay? Sounds simple enough, right? If you want to use bandages though, you have to press long on F1 again to use the bandages, which is in theory sounds easy, right? But in experience, it's freaking obnoxious. You have to, if you pay attention to the footage, there is a time where I just accidentally press F2 thinking that it is a bandages, and instead of healing myself, I just keep eating bread over and over. It's really annoying. I hope they bring back the slots back, because right now it's really hard to get used to. And yeah, Very, very freaking annoying. So point 5. I can't tell a friend from a foe because my crosshair points green when I point at guy sometimes. When I start the footage, I see the guy, I put a crosshair on him, and it turns green. I think, whoa, that's a friendly NPC. So I come close to him, I go close to him, and he starts shooting me. Why did it turn green if it's enemy NPC? Why? When you put a crosshair, this is a basic rule of the games. When you put your crosshair to an enemy, it turns red. Simple, right? When you point your crosshair to a friend, it turns green. Why did you fuck it up, Stalker? I do not know why it is different in this game, but I really hope they fix that, because this is really confusing. That, and for some reason, every NPC now has a name. I do not know if they belong to duty. I do not know if they belong to loners, freedom. Hell, I do not even know if they are bandits. I once ran into a duty guy, and I just kept shooting him in the head, and he didn't do anything because he was not a hostile NPC. But I do not know that. I did not know that he was duty because he has a name written there, but not the faction he belongs to. This is freaking annoying. At least make his name red if it's duty and make it green if it's freedom. It's simple. Okay, so this is my main problems with the game right now. So yeah, I wanted to get that off my chest. So let's now start about talking about positives. So first thing first, game is freaking beautiful. Zone and modders never looked so much beautiful. The zone, oh my god, zone looks so freaking good. I cannot wait to see what modding community is going to do with this game in a couple years. If you're going to get Stalker 2.0 anomaly, that shit is going to be fucking insane. Oh my god, game looks beautiful. Atmosphere, mwah. Emissions, freaking emission. I do not know if you guys run into emission yet, or if you have seen the footage. Oh my god, it looks like a fucking second coming of devil. Really fucking amazing, okay? 10 out of 10 immersion right there. Okay, so second point. Guns look really cool, albeit bit casual in the gameplay. Still cool. My main problem with guns right now is that when you are upgrading it to with engineer, I had hoped that upgrading the gun will attach some new stuff, you know, like handle, flashlight, something, I do not know. But no, you just like in Dark Souls, you know, you just get level and stats and attributes, and that is that. Kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. Guns look cool, they sound good, they feel good. I really like guns. I really like guns. Good job, Stalker. Now, this is the thing that is really freaking interesting. The quest chain and choices, okay? And I never really took Stalker for like freaking Telltale games, you know, making choices and outcomes and consequences and shit. But for some reason, Stalker 2 has a lot of choice-based quests that pretty much give you different outcomes depending on what you choose. That is so freaking weird. I do not know if not weird, amazing. I did not know if I needed that in a Stalker of all things, but after experiencing those choices and quests in Stalker 2, I gotta say, it feels fucking amazing and immersive. And yeah, this is such a good addition. I just keep thinking about whether or not the developer team is going to give us mod kit that allows us to create our own quests. If modders can create custom quests with different outcomes, this is going to be next freaking level. I'm telling you guys, quests are really freaking good, and the choice-based quests and outcomes are really freaking good. Which choice you make matters, and that is really amazing. Next point. Map is freaking huge. I was afraid of mapping smaller, compared to the modding modifications that we had over the years. For example, Stalker Anomaly pretty much combines first three maps from the older games. It feels really amazing. So obviously we wanted to Stalker 2 to have a huge map, and it does. Map is huge. You don't have to do a loading screen to go from one part of the map to the other. It feels amazing. And yeah, for the last note, the last thing that I want to say about the game, there was a fear amongst the Stalker community that the next installment would feel like a Tarkovish experience and not really a Stalker. I gotta say, this is the most Stalker shit you have ever played in years. There is nothing Tarkovish about it. If anything, I feel like this is Call of Pripyat with a better engine and graphics, with better guns and atmosphere, minus Alife. It really feels like a Stalker game with a modern spin on it. So it's... When I realized that, I felt relief in my soul. It felt really freaking good. So yeah, these are my thoughts about the game. It is a little bit rough shape right now, despite that it has its qualities that I talked about, and just give it a week or 3, and I'm sure the developer team is going to release lots of patches that are going to fix all the issues and fix Alife back. And what's Alife and optimization back in the menu, boys? This game is going to be something special, especially in years to come when they will release the modding kit and the modding community will get their hands on it. So yeah, if you have not brought the Stalker, buy it. Yeah, it is bugged, it has issues, but trust me, it will get fixed. And when it gets fixed, Tarkov will be the relic of the past.